I do have a question for you guys out there, and I need to do more research, but in the 40k rulebook, it says Lords of War, most powerful and destructive, blah blah blah. They include towering monstrosities and super heavy vehicles, enough weaponry to lay waste to anything foolish enough to stand before them. You'll find the selection of Lords of War units in some codexes and the Warhammer 40k escalation. So does that mean that you can only use Ghazghkull in escalation, even though his points are the same and they reduce the amount of attacks that he has, and he no longer has an invulnerable save? So they hurt him and then made him a Lord of War where you can only use him in escalation? I don't know. I doubt that. But, and then we have the Stomp Bus. The good news is the Stomp is in the rulebook. You don't have to buy a $50 book in order to play him. I've only played with him once, and he didn't do too well, but that was because my rolling skills sucked. But he's 770 points. Maybe eventually I might get one. We'll see. There's plenty of stuff in the meantime that I need to play with. Now, they have a Orc Warband, which is a formation included in the codex now. As if the formation is one war boss, one mech, one unit of knobs or mega knobs, 6 units of boys, 1 unit of Gretchen. And it says if the detachment is chosen as your primary detachment, you can re-roll those result on your Warlord table. It's not a big deal. We'll get to the Warlord table next. Green Skin Hordes. Every unit of 10 or more models gains Hammer of Wrath special rule in any assault phase in which it successfully charges an enemy, and the dice rolled on the charge is 10 or more. So you don't necessarily need 10, but if you need like 5, but when you roll you get 10, you get Hammer of Wrath, which again, that's probably a rarity that it's going to happen, because 10, 11, 12 is kind of a tough to do. And Overwatch does not alter what you need, and it doesn't look like Dangerous Terrain either. So if you go through Dangerous Terrain, it's not like you need a 12 in order to get 10. You just need to roll a 10. And then if your War Boss and the Warlord can use his WOG special rule each and every turn after the first. That's kind of neat. So the formation, except for the Gretchen, I don't like Gretchen, is kind of, it'll be fun for that stuff. So, moving for the special rules of the Codex, we have Here We Go. Can re-roll a single dice when determining the charge range. That's pretty good. That is actually pretty important. And then the mob rule is changed. It used to be that if you had 10, you're pretty much fearless. Now, let's see, if a morale, okay, let's see. For every model that has special rule, the unit fails a morale or pinning check. Oh, bummer. Roll immediately on the following table. So, you roll a d6, number 1. The unit is locked in combat. Treat as if his past morale check and pinning test. The unit is not locked in combat. It fails the morale check or pinning test. Okay. So if you're in close combat and you roll a 1, that means you're going to stay there. You're fearless. If you're not, then you fail like normal. At least, I guess at least it gives you a chance to not get overrun. They should have modifiers. Like if you had, for every 5 boys, you should have a -1 to this modifier or something, so that you can always end up staying or something. Wait a minute. That's a big deal. So that means if you have 30 boys and a knob and the boss pull fails, theoretically they could run away instead of being fearless. Oh, that sucks. If the unit includes 1 or more orc characters, including independent characters, it suffers D6 strength. Okay, here we go. And including independent characters. So that a knob. It suffers D6 strength 4 AP nothing hits and is treated as if it had passed a morale pinning test. These Hits are randomly allocated but cannot be allocated to orc characters, even if excess are lost. The unit does not include orc characters, it fails. Okay, so if you have a group of 30 boys with a knob, you roll a 2 or 3, you kill D6 after the boss pull, by the way, and then you're good to go, which is fine. That used to be something similar to like the fear test in 5th edition. And then 4 and 6, if the unit has 10 or more models, it suffers D6, strength 4, AP, nothing hits, and then is treated as passed. The hits are randomly allocated. If the unit has fewer than 10 models, it fails the morale check and penning test. Okay. Same thing, except it's randomly instead of... I hate randomly allocated. Because if you have one knob and you have 20 boys, you're just gonna... How do you randomly... I don't know. That's a pain in the butt. So, Warlord traits. The mob rule could be good, could be bad, I don't know. It's nothing like the Tyranid stuff, so it could still be fine. I missed the Fearless on 10. You're more likely to get overrun, but you have a lot of units set, so it makes sense. Warlord traits, number 1, the Prophet of the Wog, which is what Gazgul and some others have, is the Here We Go becomes Fearless. That's pretty good. You call that before you get in close combat, and you don't even have to worry about the mob rule.
Here we go!
It's like Mario. Here we go! Let's see, the other one, Bellowing Tyrant. The Warlord and all friendly units within 12 of him reroll morale checks and pinning tests, so that helps the mob rule. Good synergy, by the way, with Orc Codex. The Warlord, number 3, like a Thunderbolt. All orcs within 12 inches of him can reroll all dice when determining runs, moves, or charge ranges. That's pretty awesome. So no more hiding your war boss in the back, you gotta get him in the mix. And number 4, brutal but cunning. The Warlord can re-roll 1 failed to hit, 2 hit or 2 wound roll each turn. Awesome. It's always good when you got a power claw and it whiffs. The Warlord, number 5, cunning but brutal. The Warlord can re-roll 1 failed armor or invulnerable save thrown each turn. That's awesome. So it's like a feel no pain on top of a feel no pain. So yeah, if you do a mega knob, you can do 2+ armor, and if let's say you fail 2, and you have your Warlord is the feel no pain guy, then you do feel no pain, and if 1 fails, then you re-roll again to try and get that. That's pretty awesome. Actually, I'd probably re-roll the armor, 2+. Might is right. The Warlord receives +1 to his strength characteristic on his profile, which may not make a difference because if he's got a power claw, he's already pretty damn strong anyways, but I guess the difference between strength 9 and strength 10, I guess that makes a difference. Alright, the weapons, a lot of them are the same. Big Choppa is +2 strength, AP 5. None of these are that big of a difference. The kill saw that we were talking about before is obviously double strength, AP 2. But it comes with armor banes. So I think Power Claw is more than fine. I don't think you need a kill saw, even though it looks like really neat model or kit. Power Claw, same exact thing. Still the same points. Can Claw, same thing. Claw of Gork or possibly Mork. Strength 10, AP 1. Thunder Hammer, Tank Hammer, which is what the Tank Busters have. Strength 8, AP 3. Melee, two-handed, unwielding. Should have Tank Hunter on there, but I would rather keep the rockets. The syringe is 4+ poison. Let's see. Weird Boy Staff, +2 strength, AP 4, force weapon, which is nice. So Weird Boy's he's gonna be around. That's good. Range weapons. The Big Boom, still strength, AP 5, strength 4, AP 5, large blast, 1 use only. So that's with the Death Copters. It's 15 points per bomb. Unless you're playing a horde army, I don't see that being a big deal. This is a great addition. The big bomb for the fire bomber is strength 7, AP 2, and a whole bunch of awesome stuff. So the flame weapons, the burn up bomb, strength 4, AP 4, large blast, ignores cover. Well, it's a burn anyway, so it would be ignoring cover. Burna is still the template. Oh, okay. So it's AP 3 in close combat. That's if you don't use it in the Overwatch. Scorcha still the same. Scorcha missile looks to be the same. And the bubble chuck and all those are for all the mech cannons, so those are all neat. Kilocans, Kilocannon, strength 7, AP 3, ordnance 1, large blast. The only thing that's kind of sad about the Kilocannon with the looted wagon is that in the magazine it says strength 8, large blast, and in the codex it says strength 7, large blast. And they made it cheaper, so maybe either there's a misprint or exclusive to the White Dwarf. We're not sure yet, so we'll see. But again, these need to be play tested. Other than that, the custom Mega Blaster is pretty awesome. And we'll see. I mean, almost everything from then on is very similar. Rocket packs, you don't roll for an extra distance. You can run 2d6 and then you have to take a dangerous on everybody, which is pretty crazy. I wouldn't do that. Wag banner still the same. Cyborg body 6+ feel no pain, not 5-up, invulnerable anymore. Bummer. Dock tools feel no pain. Let's see. Alright, custom force field. The bearer of the model with it. The bearer and all models, not units anymore, within 6 inches receive a 5+ invulnerable save against any shooting attacks. If the bearer is embarked in a vehicle, then the vehicle receives a 5+ invulnerable save against any shooting attacks instead. So you don't have that crazy threat bubble anymore. It's only the models within 6 inches receive a 5+. But it's an invulnerable save now, not a cover save. So it kind of went down a little bit, but that was probably one of the cheapest things that Orks had. I'm glad that it's at least still there, and that is good. But it says if a bearer is embarked in a vehicle, the vehicle reads 5+. I should say that if it's an open topped, it still gets that thing. The mech tools on a 5+. Restore a hull point or a weapon. The war bikes have armor and jink, but no 4-up cloud cover anymore. That's kind of a bummer. Heavy armor is still 4+ armor. Mega armor still 2+, but it's bulky, slow, and purposeful. So that means no running or overrunning or anything like that. That was pretty much the same. Ard case, don't worry about. Boarding plank. If the unit from the open top vehicle with a boarding plank declares a charge in the same turn, it adds +2 to the distance. This is pretty awesome. Especially if you're going through difficult terrain, it pretty much negates that. So the boarding plank is probably you're gonna start seeing that more on vehicles, I'm sure. Especially the open top like the battle wagon and the trucks. The Def Rolla pretty much got nerfed, unfortunately. I don't see it being a benefit, especially for the points cost to hopefully ram something. Yeah, it rams at strength 9, but I don't know. It used to get D6, now it's D3 if someone's stupid enough to do the Death or Glory, which I've never seen. They usually just get out of the way. The Grappling Claw is still the same thing. 2 inches away from the vehicle on a 4+. Instead of a strength 9 hit, now they cannot move for the next turn, which is pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat. Well, that's a grab and claw. That's pretty much just the same. Do they have the wrecking ball anymore? Yeah, strength 9, AP 4, assault D3. Ooh, wrecking balls. Might see those. Okay, red paint job still the same. Grot riggers. It will not die. Special roll. Oh, yeah, interesting. And then the last thing I'm probably gonna. Oh, there's two other things. Let's see. They got a couple extra things. All right, so the gifts of Gorkenmork. These are some specialty items you can only have one in your army at any given time, and they're reasonable in the prices, unlike the Tyrannid ones. So the Finken Cap.
What was that?
The Finken Cap.
What?
Orcs. Thinking Cap. Additional Warlord trait from the strategic table on the Warhammer Rule Book. Those weren't very well. I think they're pretty good now. In addition to that, the first trait generally roll again, and the different trait is generated. So you get an additional Warlord trait out of the book, which are much better now. The Warboss Gaz Bag Blitz Bike. A model equipped with Warboss Gaz changes to type to a bike. In addition, model has a 4+ armor save. When turbo boosting, it does 18 instead of 12, 1 point higher than the normal cover save. Warboss is equipped with Twin Link Custom DACA Blastas with a falling profile. Okay, so they got rid of the DACA HQ guy that was on a bike, and they replaced him with this. 24-inch range, strength 6, AP 3, assault 3. I'd rather have had the war bike so that he can make bikes troops, because now bikes cannot be troops. It doesn't look like it at all. And then the Lucky Stick. All models bearing units add 1 to their weapon skill profile. Not accumulative with the Wagbanner. In addition, the bearer can choose to reroll any failed to hit to wound rolls or saving throws they may make. Holy wow. The bearer can choose to reroll any failed to hit to wound rolls or saving throws that they make. However, should 3 or more rerolls generate failed results in the same turn, the model immediately removes the casualty. Ah, bummer. So you can reroll. I would just do 2. I wouldn't even put the possibility of 3 in case you get killed. Then the Head Chopper. Strength +2, AP 5, melee, decapitation strength, rending, two-handed. Any wound rolled as 6 made with the Head Chopper is instant death special roll. That's pretty cool. But it's AP 5. That's not. Oh, it's rending. Okay, well that could be good. Alright, so the Fixer Ups or Uppers. In the shooting phase, instead of firing a weapon, the equipment can use a repair a single friendly vehicle in base contact. To repair a vehicle, roll a d6. On a 3 or more, it's restore whole point or weapon destroyed. Immobilization result. This is effective immediately. Oh, that could be good. So your war boss can essentially repair vehicles as it's moving on. And the last one is Da Dead Shiny Shooter. 18-inch range, strength 4, AP 6, assault 6, stray shot, twin linked. So roll a d6 each time fails to hit its target after rolls. For each one at a friendly unit, okay. Roll a d6 time each time the gun misses to hit. For each one, a friendly unit within 6 inches of the target chosen by your opponent suffers a single strength 4 AP 6 hit as if they were just shot by wielding the shiny shooter. The wielder of the shiny shooter and its unit cannot be chosen as targets for the stray shots. Okay, so it's kind of like splash damage. It's kind of stupid unless it's really cheap in points. Strength 4, AP 4, so every time it misses, it could potentially hit a unit next to it with Alright, so if you roll 6 dice, ballistic skill is 2, twin linked, so let's say you get 3 of 6. The other 3 can jump to groups next to it and automatically do a wound, it looks like. Oh, strength 4 hit, so you still have to roll the wound. I don't know. That might be okay, but we'll see. Alright, let's see. What else we got to do here? We got the power of the Wog. Here are the psychic powers. Frazzle, which is the same, strength 6, AP 3, blast. That's the Primaris power. Highly suggest getting the cards. Number 1 is a focus fire. A focused witch fire. 24 inches. Target must pass a toughness test or suffer a wound with no armor saves or cover saves allowed. That's pretty decent. The next one is Warpath. Whilst the power is in effect, all models in the Psyker's unit have the Here We Go special rule and gains +1 attack. Most of them have Here We Go, so +1 attack for a big squad of 30 boys would be pretty nice. The jump is a blessing. Remove the unit from the board and immediately... Oh, it's the deep strike one. And if you roll doubles, it can only snapshot. Kill Bolt, 18, strength 10, AP 2, assault 1. That's awesome. But that means you have to roll to hit. And his ballistic skill is garbage. Yeah. So you have to cast it, and then you have a 1 in 3 chance of it hitting, and then you have a 5 in 6 chance of it wounding. Number 5, Power Vomit. Oh, I've heard about this one. Power Vomit has a template weapon, strength 7, AP 2, assault 1. That's pretty cool. And then the last one, Warp Charge 2. By the way, Power Vomit, Kill Bolt, all 2 warp charges. It's 2d6 AP strength, AP 4, assault 1, large blast, barrage. If when rolling the strength you roll 11 or 12, completely resolve the attack at strength 10 and then roll another 2d6 and resolve the second attack against the original target of the psychic power, if it still has any surviving models. If the second attack also rolls 11 or 12, resolve another attack as described below. Continue to repeat the process until either a 10 or less is rolled to determine the attack strength, or the original target is completely destroyed. That's kind of neat. So you 2 warp charges. That's pretty neat, actually. So you can continue just hitting that group if you're lucky with your dice rolling. Yeah, I know both. Alright, so the last part is the Orc tactical objectives. These are specialty cards just for the Orcs. I mean, nothing special. I mean, 1 victory point for killing a unit during the shooting phase. I mean, that could be anybody. 1 victory point. Warlord killed an opponent in a challenge. That's not that big a deal. Victory point, at least 1 enemy was completely destroyed. That seems like other cards. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if at least 3 Orc units turbo boosted, went flat out, or ran 6 inches during the... That could kind of be neat. Especially at the beginning of the game if you got that card. Roll d6 when the tactical objectives are generated. Score 1 victory point at the end of the time you control that objective. Well, that's cool, but I think that might be another card. And the last one, 1 victory point at the end of the turn. During that turn, you successfully charge an enemy with an Orc unit and the dice rolls is 10. So that's the here we go and that specialty thing. So I know that was a long video. There's a lot of special rules. The mob rule is different, which I think is okay because there was a lot of boys. You need to kind of filter through them somehow. The Warlord traits are pretty good, I have to admit. The psychic abilities are pretty good. The couple things that I'm kind of bummed about is number one, the units and all the points and all the added stuff is not at the back of the book like every other codex that's out there. If you want to do points, you literally have to scroll in the middle of the book. In the middle of the book, like that far to the end of the book is where the war boss is, and it tells you the points and all the add-ons and all that stuff. And it doesn't tell you that they are HQ or troops. Like, okay, wow, that symbol. Just put HQ right there. You have the space. That's kind of ridiculous. And so to build a list in the Orc Codex, it's like the technology of the Codex fell behind. Almost every single Codex gives you all the stuff in the book, and at the end they give you like 2, maybe 4 to 6 pages of the recap of all the point values, what it is, HQ, all the add-ons and all that stuff. This one kind of, it's going to take a long time to build such a massive horde army flipping back and forth, and you're going to be destroying your book. I mean, it still has that little fold-out sheet, which I'm going to end up making a copy of it as my cheat sheet, as you guys have seen, but for the most part, I'm not necessarily too happy with the structure of the book. The rules and things I see are good, but the structure of the book I'm not too happy about. But other than that, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and share. So this is the initial, again, this is the initial look at the book. I haven't played a game. I will review them more in depth as time progresses, but I think the Lord of the War is going to be the thing that's going to bug me the most, because Ghazghkull is one of my favorite characters. So anyways, thank you for watching. Happy wargaming.